Hello, good evening. Welcome to this live broadcast. And I am joining you with my cup of something warm. It's tea, actually. It's not coffee. I shouldn't. Perhaps it's too late in the day to be drinking coffee for me. It's 6 o'clock in the evening here in the UK. And wherever you are watching, you are very welcome indeed. Let me know, in fact, where you're watching, because it will be great to say hello to you. If you say hello in the chat, I will be able to say hello. Now, this is a special event all around our Black Friday sale. Over this weekend, indeed over the past week, we have been offering a very special discount to help you take your first steps or perhaps your continued steps with whatever language you are learning. So over the next 40 minutes, 50 minutes, I don't know, I'm going to be sharing some information and answering your questions, because that's what this is all about. We are answering your questions to help you make the right decisions about the courses that we have available. Let me just check that everything is working. We should be able to, we've got slides on here so we can ask the question, who is watching? I already see some people posting in the comments. That's fantastic. And hopefully you can hear me. Oh, and it looks like we've also got some new members of the Coffee Break Academy to welcome. I'll get to that in just a moment, but let's see who we've got watching. We have Daphne from Maryland. Daphne, you're very welcome. Abo is watching too. Great. Lisa is watching in Dallas. We've got Kathy in New Mexico. We've got Julia in New York. We've got David and Jan from Rome, fantastic, and Abdel joining us from Algeria. We also have Alejandra joining us. Ciao, buongiorno a tutti, bonjour a tous, hallo zusammen, nimen hao, hey alle hoppa, hola todos, hello. Welcome to this live broadcast that we are running. We are joined by people from all around the world, like Muhammad from Uzbekistan, and it is great to have you here. Now, as you can see, rolling along the bottom there of the screen, we've got some new members who have just joined the Coffee Break Academy. So I would like to say hello and hola to Steve, who has just enrolled in the Coffee Break Spanish Travel Diaries. We've got Anne H, who has just enrolled in Coffee Break French Level 2. Merci beaucoup, Anne. We have Richard, who has just enrolled in Coffee Break German Level 3. Ausgezeichnet, Richard. Donna has enrolled in Coffee Break Italian Level 1. Benissimo e benvenuta. Welcome, Donna. And we also have Richard, who is joining us for Coffee Break French Level 3. And Tammy, who has enrolled in Coffee Break Italian Level 3 as well. This is fantastic. It's great to have you here. We're delighted that you are able to join us in the Coffee Break Academy. And of course, that you're joining us today. We have a few more hellos to say. We've got Catherine joining us in California, Annika from Munich, Narhuva from Stockholm, Abo's in Iraq. We've got Nilam from India, Marina from Israel, and Belle from Algeria, and Dale from the villages in Florida. Fantastic. You're all very welcome indeed. Today, we are going to be answering your question, and I have got some questions that you've already asked, and I'm going to answer those questions. But if I could maybe ask the team to take the ticker off the bottom so that we can concentrate on our questions, and perhaps we'll get some more new members a little later on, and we can say hello to them. Thank you. Okay, good. Let's move on to our first question. Our first question is, which courses are included in the sale? Well, the courses that are included in the sale are all of the courses that we are currently offering on sale. So that's all of our Coffee Break Academy courses, which are currently up and running. So that includes Coffee Break French levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that goes from absolute beginners up to an advanced level of Coffee Break French. In French, it also includes our magazines, our verb fix, En route avec Coffee Break French. It also includes the reading club and our travel diaries. Also on sale is Il était une fois, our advanced course. La vérité éclate toujours, our other advanced course. And that's all our French courses. So all of these French courses are completely available as part of our Black Friday sale. And over the course of this next half hour, 40 minutes or so on, I'll be talking a little about some of these courses, showing you in the Coffee Break Academy. But I have recently done, just on Friday, we did another live in which we went in detail into all of the courses for each language in French, German, Spanish, and Italian. So you can check those out. The links are on the page. I've put that page up there, so you'll be able to see the replays on that page. So that's visit coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF23. In fact, I can show you what that page looks like. Here it is. I'll just take the link away. So this is our Black Friday sales page. You can see that there's only 2 days and 5 hours left to take advantage of this huge saving. And you can choose your language there. And these are the replays, so you can access these replays here. And then if we continue to scroll on down the page, we'll see some of the highlights and so on. But I'll not go into that just now. Just a very nice comment from Daphne here. The Black Friday sale webpage is well designed. At a quick glance, one immediately sees what supplemental material goes with what level of the course material. Daphne, thank you. That means a lot. We spend a lot of time trying to make everything as clear as possible. So that really does mean a lot. Thank you for that. Okay, let's come back to our slides. So those were all our French courses that are included in the sale. Now on to Spanish. We have our Spanish levels 1 to 4. So level 1 for beginners, level 2 for lower intermediate, level 3 for upper intermediate, and level 4 for advanced. So again, all of these part of the sale. We have our Coffee Break Spanish magazines, and these are shorter courses. Again, as Daphne commented, you'll be able to see exactly what each course contains on the website. We have our reading club, En Marcha con Coffee Break Spanish, the travel diaries, and our espresso series too. And we also have our advanced series, La Penúltima Voluntad, which has just recently finished. This has been a 20-chapter novel that we've been reading together, and we are able to access all of the support materials to help you understand all of the chapters of the novel together with La Penúltima Voluntad. So those are our Spanish courses available. We also have Italian courses, which are on sale. That's Italian beginners, level 1, intermediate level 2, and advanced level 3. We have our Italian to go series, our magazines, our reading clubs, and of course the travel diaries. We also have German courses as part of the Black Friday sale too. So that's German level 1 for beginners, German level 2 for intermediate, and German level 3 for advanced. So again, all of these courses are available, along with the German travel diaries, the German to go, the German magazine, the German travel diaries, and the reading club. So those, so far, are our French, Italian, German, and Spanish courses. But we do have some other courses which are also available, and I'll just run through them just now. First of all, we have our Coffee Break English courses. The English courses begin with an introductory, an access course, if you like, which is presented in Spanish, helping Spanish native speakers learn the basics of English. And then we have 2 upper beginners and lower intermediate courses in Coffee Break English Season 1 and Season 2. So those are the courses that are currently available for Coffee Break English. With Swedish, we have our Level 1 Beginners course, so that takes you from A1 up to A2, and I'll be talking a little about levels in just a moment. We also have our Coffee Break Swedish Travel Diaries Season 1, which was broadcast this year, and over the course of the 10 lessons of this course, we follow a family as they travel down the west coast of Sweden, staying in beautiful places like Marstrand that you can see in the photo there. So that's Coffee Break Swedish. Moving on to Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, we have a beginner's course in Mandarin Chinese from A1 to A2 level. We also have our new course in Gaelic, that's Scottish Gaelic, for beginners from A1 to A2 level. And that's an ongoing course, so we're at lesson 18 at the moment. Lesson 19, I think, goes out this coming week or next week. But I know that we are recording some Coffee Break Gaelic tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And we also have our Coffee Break Portuguese course, and that is our beginner's Coffee Break Portuguese. So that again is for level 1 and taking you from A1 to A2 level here. And again, another course that's ongoing, so you'll be able to follow that as we publish each lesson. Give me 1 second, I just need a sip of my tea. Okie doke. So those are the main courses that are available as part of our coffee break Black Friday sale. I am aware that we've got a few questions and comments coming in. That's fantastic. And I'll do my best to answer these as we go along. But before we do, it looks like we've got some new enrollments. So we've got Steve, who's enrolled in the Coffee Break Spanish Travel Diaries since we've been talking here. That's fantastic. Maya has enrolled in Coffee Break Italian Level 1. Benvenuta, Maya. We've got Diane, who has enrolled in La Vérité éclate toujours, our advanced French course. Fantastic, Diane. You're very welcome. Susan has enrolled in Coffee Break Gaelic. Gleva, tapalat, Susan. That's great to know. And we have Madison, who has enrolled in Coffee Break German at level 2, ausgezeichnet. Oh, and also Tariq, who has enrolled in Il était une fois, our other advanced French course. Fantastic. All great to have you here. And there's Joe, who has enrolled in La Penultima Voluntad. So this is happening as we speak. Fantastic to know that many of you are signing up. Thank you indeed for all of that. Okay, coming back to your questions and your comments. First of all, from Zoe. I'm very honoured by this question, this comment. You've excellent delivery and the best voice to listen to for learning languages. Going to check out the sale now for your French courses. Merci beaucoup, Zoe. Thank you very much indeed for your kind comments. Julia is asking, how do I know which level is best for me? Julia, that's a really good question, and I'm just going to come on to that in a moment because it's a couple of slides down in my presentation, so we'll definitely be talking about that. And Mark has a similar question. Another Mark here from Glasgow. Great fun. My German is okay, basically, but my Grammatik is nicht so gut. What course would you recommend? The intermediate. So jumping back then to our German courses. In fact, let's take a little look at our German courses on the website. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to jump over here. So I'm just going to, we've got an account here on the Coffee Break Academy, which is all of our courses. Well, we've got a membership to all of the courses here. Let's just go into German. And you said, Mark, that your German is nicht so gut, and you're particularly looking to focus on the grammar side of things. So with Coffee Break German Level 2, this is where we do really take things back to the beginning almost and start working through German grammar and really helping you build a strong foundation. So you can see here we're looking at endings of particular words. We're looking at modal verbs. We're looking at adjective endings here. Das ist ein schönes Zimmer. Ich hätte gern den heißen Kaffee. So we're starting to look at cases here. So the lessons of level 2 are very much organized in such a way that you'll really build a strong foundation in the German content and in the German language rather, sorry. And if you look on further, here we can say, wie alt warst du, als du Deutsch lernen wolltest? So again, we're looking at here the Präteritum, the sort of imperfect tense, if you like, in German. It's not quite the imperfect, but the Präteritum is what it's called in German. So different tenses and so on. And if I just scroll forward to the end of lesson of level 2, and we jump into one of these lessons here and have a look at the notes, you'll see how far you've got. So here's the transcript of the discussion in this episode, and all of the German that you've learned will be practiced in these dialogues and this is kind of like a radio play that we've included at the end. So you're following the radio play, you're following the events of the play to find out what happens, but also getting lots of practice of all of the German that we've covered. And of course, everything is explained as you would imagine. So, Mark, I hope that helps you. I would definitely say if you've not done level 2 yet, go with level 2, because that really will help to lay the foundations for everything else that comes in German. Jumping around a little, we've got Jacqueline asking, will Il était une fois have a new season soon? hopefully there will be a new season next year of Il était une fois. It's great fun to film, so we're looking forward to doing some more episodes of that. And George is asking, any plans to do an extended Turkish course? Not at the moment, but never say never. At the moment, we're working on Coffee Break Japanese, looking forward to releasing that next year. So, Mark, I'm really pleased to know that. There is also a bundle of level 2 and level 3 that you might be interested in. So check that out as well. Obviously, you'll save even more in the sale with the bundle price. Okay, so I'm just going to come back to our. Oh my goodness, have we got? I think these are the same people. So perhaps we could just take the ticker off the screen for the time being. And we are going to focus on some more questions that we've had. So if I bring my questions on here for the time being. So what about Coffee Break Japanese or the masterclass or other courses? Well, there are other courses that we have that I mentioned there, we're working on Coffee Break Japanese at the moment, but it's not available yet, so we're not offering it in the sale, obviously. And our masterclass is a special 6-month course that runs on an ongoing basis, where there's one is just coming to the end of our masterclass at the end of November, and then we also have another masterclass that started in October, and that will run on until March next year. But we don't have a masterclass at the moment available to buy, and that's why there's no masterclass in the sale. Likewise, our Italian masterclass should be going live early next year, and that's not available to buy at the moment because it doesn't exist, so we're not offering that in the sale. So hopefully that explains the situation with these new courses that are coming. Okay. What levels are the Coffee Break courses at? So this is in response to many questions that we've had over the past few days by email and so on. And also Julia was asking, how do I know which level is best for me, and so on. So let's take a look at some information about levels. First of all, if we imagine this as the road of language learning, the journey that we all go on as we start learning a language. Of course, we start at a beginner's level, or even a kind of pre-beginner's almost, with A1. So the beginners level at A1, then moving on to upper beginners at A2, and lower intermediate B1, upper intermediate B2, and advanced C1, and onwards from there to C2. So these are the levels of the Common European Framework of Reference. This was established a few years back, and it really helps us identify what level we're at. But sometimes it's a little bit difficult to know exactly, am I B1, or am I A2, or am I B2, and so on. And the thing is, very often we may be a particular level in one skill, but a different level in another skill. I'm thinking, for example, at the moment, I'm learning Norwegian. Now, my understanding of Norwegian is relatively good. I'm probably kind of B1-ish, maybe, in my understanding of Norwegian. Written Norwegian, I understand quite well. Spoken Norwegian, depending on the accent, I understand relatively well. I can pick up bits of what is happening in a show without subtitles, for example. But in speaking, I'm probably much closer to maybe high A1 or early A2, because producing the language is much more challenging for me. So it's very possible that you are in one level at one point and another level in another skill. Let's take a look at what the European Union determines as these levels. So A1 is our elementary level, and in A1, a learner can communicate using everyday expressions and basic phrases. They can introduce themselves and ask simple questions about personal details. So that would be the level that all of our courses start at. All our level 1 courses will be helping you achieve A1 level and move beyond that. So A2 would be a kind of pre-intermediate or upper beginners or something like that. And there you can communicate using frequently used expressions in everyday situations, and you can describe things around you and the things that you need. So be that a coffee in a coffee shop, or be that a particular type of medicine because you've got a sore head or a sore back or something like that. So you can describe the things that you need and achieve communication in that way at that A2 level. And again, a number of our courses involve that type of language. It's covered very much in their level 1 course and also in level 2 courses, which kind of span A2 into B1. And B1 would be determined as intermediate. And there you can understand information about familiar topics and communicate in most situations while travelling. But it doesn't say that you're completely fluent in all of those situations while traveling. You're able to make communication. You're able to achieve what you need to achieve using the language. Sorry, just one second. And then moving on to B2, this is where you can understand the main ideas of complex texts. You might not understand every word, but reading a passage, you'll get the gist. You'll understand the main aspects of that. And you can interact with some fluency and communicate easily in a variety of topics, expressing your opinion too within the upper intermediate at B2 level. And then when we move on to C1, that would be our advanced level. There you can understand a wide range of long, complex texts. You can interact fluently and spontaneously and use language flexibly. And that really is a situation where most learners are dreaming about, in a sense. It's what you're aiming for, a C1 level. But it's hard to achieve, and you don't achieve a C1 level in a few weeks or a few months. It's something that you obviously have to continually work on. And there is a C2 level, but that is a level beyond which perhaps the vast majority of learners won't really, well, you can't go beyond C2 obviously, but it's a proficient level where you understand everything you hear or read and you can express yourself fluently, accurately and spontaneously in complex situations. If it's any indication, I feel my own French, for example, would probably be a kind of C1 level, probably similar in Spanish and Italian, but I wouldn't, in Italian, for example, I would not be as confident to talk in any situation. I can definitely make myself understood and understand most of what people are saying to me most of the time, but I'm quite happy with that. So you don't need to aim for a C2. Indeed, many learners find that A2 gets you everything that you need to do, and it vastly improves your experience on a trip to the country or a country where the language that you're learning is spoken. So I hope that gives you a clearer understanding of these levels and what the levels mean. Now let's look at what that means in terms of our courses. We've tried to simplify things by making our courses either beginners, intermediate or advanced courses. But the orders here, and indeed the orders on our webpage, so if I just go to here and we'll just go into all French courses. This is our French catalogue. So within all of the courses, let me just get rid of that. All of our courses are split up here into beginners, and then into lower intermediate in the case of French and Spanish. And this is the order that we would suggest that you do them in, then upper intermediate and on to advanced. So this is basically the order that we're suggesting, and it is the kind of thing that you can work your way through from one course onto the next, or do a couple at the same time. And I'll tell you a little more about that in a moment. Okay, so that is what we think. French and Spanish, we go through level 1 to go season 1, level 2, and then the travel diaries, reading club, and so on, all the way up to La vérité éclate toujours, or La penultima voluntad. And then with German and Italian, we slightly stretch things out because level 3 in German and Italian is at a higher level than level 3 in French and Spanish, just the way things have developed over the many years that we've been putting these courses together. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an understanding of where we are with these courses and the order in which they appear. Okay, let me see now. So what's the difference between level 2 and the travel diaries? So this is a kind of linked question in a sense, and it's about the whole idea that, what's the difference between one particular course and another particular course? And it's really all about trying to ensure that we provide enough content to help you make the progress that you need to make. I'm thinking, for example, when we start learning a language, and I'm sure many of you have experienced this, when you begin learning a language, you learn something new every day. So every time you pick up a book, you're learning new words and you're moving forward all the time. Every time you do a little bit of learning, you're moving forward. But then, unfortunately, and this is a challenge for learners, you reach a point where you don't feel as if you're making as much forward progress and you need to kind of go on a little bit of a wider path. I always like to think of I've mentioned this many times, but I like to think of learning a language at the beginning kind of like walking through a bit of a forest path. So you're going through the path, and the path is clear because you can see where you're going on the path, but there's not really the opportunity to go off the path, and you don't really want to go off the path because you want to stick to the stuff that you know, and you keep moving forward. But then as you begin to reach a higher level, you actually do want to start going down other little paths and investigate more. And so that's really what we are trying to provide for you as we go through all these different courses. So as you're working through, for example, level 2, the travel diaries would enhance what you're doing in level 2 because they would provide additional materials to help you get more access to more vocabulary, see the grammar that you're learning in context, and so on. And you could also be doing the reading club at the same time. Now, talking of reading club, Dale has a question here. I've never heard of the reading clubs. What are the topics for some of the readings and where do they come from? For instance, French magazines or newspapers, or are they from books? So, great question, Dale. The reading club is a program of a weekly text. Every week you get a new text. There's an audio version of that text. We provide some vocabulary and some comprehension questions. And the texts aren't from magazines or newspapers or books. There would be copyright issues there and so on. The texts are all original texts, and they're all about some element of culture associated with the language of the country that we're talking about. If I jump into let me see if I can do this here. I realise you can't see this. Let me see if you can see it now. Yep. So if we go to, I think I've got the reading club. Maybe not. All right. Okay. So in that case, let me do something a little bit different. If we go here, all courses, and then we do reading, we might be able to see the preview of it. No. Okay. I'll see if we can. I'm trying to think. If we go to the reading club, let's come to the reading club this way. And if we go to by now, yeah. So we should be able to see the outline here of all the classes. I don't need that at the moment. So these are the topics in French. So, for example, the French flag, holidays by the Seine, fashion, French fashion, Victor Hugo, Le Tour de France, talking about meal times, a particular famous cafe in Paris, Une fête pas comme les autres. I'm not sure what that one's about. It's some kind of festival. Asterix, a famous cartoon character in French. So you get the idea that these are cultural texts and the kind of things that help you know the culture that native speakers know, and therefore you're able to take part in conversations about those aspects of culture. So Dale, I hope that answers your question. So there we go. Jacqueline is asking, is there a travel diaries for French? I don't see it coming up on the Coffee Break Academy when I search. So it's not normally available for normal purchase at the moment. However, at the moment, I see we've got some new customers. Delighted to welcome our new customers. But at the moment, if we come back here again, I am just going to come back to our main page. So if you go to coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF23, that takes you to this page. And at the moment, you'll be able to buy the Coffee Break Travel Diaries here. So you can buy Season 1 or Season 2 for the Coffee Break French Travel Diaries. Jacqueline, hopefully that will help you. So let's come out of here and let's take that off the screen. Can I do that? There we go. And let's welcome some new coffee breakers who have just joined us. So we've got Joe, who has enrolled in Marcha. Muchas gracias, Joe. That's fantastic. Joanne has enrolled in Coffee Break French Level 2. Brilliant. We have, so let's see, we've got Therese, who has enrolled in Coffee Break Spanish Level 2. Muchas gracias, Therese. We also have Kathy, who has enrolled in Coffee Break German Level 2. Ausgezeichnet. And Tracy, who is a new Coffee Break French Levels 1 to 4 learner. Fantastic. So we also offer bundles, and the bundles are available, giving you more access to more courses for a special price. And Brenda's also joined us for Coffee Break French Level 2. Fantastic. Merci beaucoup. And I think we've already mentioned Joe. Brilliant. So thank you for all of that. Let's just keep going and answer some more questions. So Trailer Movies saying, please could you save this live and not delete it? Of course, the live will be available after the event for the next few days at least, so that you're able to check out all the information before the end of the sale. Alejandra is asking, are the standard courses accessible perpetually once purchased? So yes, this is something that I have got again in the slides. So let's just jump back to the slides. We've answered that one. I wonder, let me see, I'm trying to think if I can jump ahead to that slide. Alejandra, if you don't mind waiting just a few minutes, there are a couple of other things that I was going to talk about first, and we will get to that question. Basically, most of the courses are lifetime, all the courses on the Coffee Break Academy at least, are lifetime access courses. If you go for the lifetime access version, there is another option, and I'll explain that a little later. But the main courses that you're seeing are all lifetime access. So what I was talking about there, the whole idea of doing another course at the same time as one of our main level courses, just to give you a feel for this, and what I mean by that is, if you're looking at the Coffee Break French Level 1 and then Level 2 course, so basically there you're taking courses that are going from point A to point B. From one point they're moving forward progressively to a higher level. But it's great to get the extra materials that will support you through that and that will complement those courses. So that's where the travel diaries and the magazine and the other courses that we've talked about here come in. And that way you're able to do more than one course at the same time. So if you are working through Level 2, then you could easily do the reading club at the same time and benefit from that. The other element that would be of interest is our Coffee Break Club. And that brings me to my next question. What is the Coffee Break Club? So the Coffee Break Club, and this is linked to hopefully I think it's Jill, who's saying Jill's on the fence between buying Italian Level 3 and Coffee Break TV. You own Coffee Break Level 1 and 2. So hopefully, Jill, this will explain a little more about the club. So the club is a different kind of product. All of the courses that we've talked about so far are courses on the Coffee Break Academy, and they are courses that you start, you complete the lessons, you work through your lessons in a very specific order, and you complete the course. But one of the biggest requests that we've had over the many years that we've been doing this is, can we have ongoing practice of different elements, of different skills, of different aspects of the language? So we came up with a completely new product in the form of the Coffee Break Club. And I'd like to show you the Coffee Break Club now. So here we go. If we go over here, this is the Coffee Break Club on our platform called Coffee Break TV. And the Coffee Break Club basically is an on-demand library of video lessons. So it's a little bit like Netflix for language learners, if you like. So there's information, lessons available in a whole variety of types of content. And you can access all of this on the Coffee Break TV platform or the Coffee Break TV app. So if, as an example, we go into our Coffee Break Italian videos here, and because Jill was asking about this, So within the Coffee Break Italian videos, here we have a whole range of different types of videos which will help you improve your Italian 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time. If we jump into, for example, let's take a look at, I don't know, what will we do? Let's do some reading with Francesca. So we'll click on this one, and it's called Gita al Museo. And this is a 5-minute lesson, so we're going to do a little bit of learning with Francesca. She shares a short reading text about a school trip to the museum. Okay, so there's various examples of the passato prossimo, some new adjectives and reflexive verbs. So let's take a quick listen to Francesca's Gita al Museo.
Ciao and welcome to the Coffee Break Italian Club. Io sono Francesca, I'm Francesca. And in this video we are going to read together. Leggiamo insieme. The text we are going to read together is about Gita al Museo.
Now, I am not 100% sure, but I think because we're doing this live, there's a little bit of stuttering in the audio there, so apologies for that. But basically the idea would be
Pen and paper or
that Francesca talks through, let me just mute this so that we don't hear that. So Francesca talks through the text, and then after that she explains the text by going through the tricky parts of the text and talking about the language that's included there. So you've spent 5 minutes on this and you've learned something useful in what you've done. So that I'm getting a confirmation that the audio is in fact fine. So that's good. We'll leave that there. But that gives you an idea of one of the types of videos that we have here. So that's a reading text. We also have translation challenges. So these are some of the favorite videos of club members. So translation challenges. Let's have a quick look at a translation challenge with Maurizio. I'll jump ahead to his first challenge.
Let's look at our first sentence. We just moved into our new flat or apartment. In this sentence, I want you to use the Italian verb trasferirsi, okay? Trasferirsi, it's a reflexive verb, all right? 10 seconds to translate the sentence from English into Italian, starting now. Ok, vediamo la traduzione. Ci siamo appena trasferiti o trasferite nel nostro nuovo appartamento. So we're using the verb trasferirsi, it's a reflexive verb, so we need to use essere to form its passato prossimo. So here we see ci siamo trasferiti or trasferite if in the noi there's only women. Okay? Just is appena, ci siamo appena trasferiti. Notice it's placed between the auxiliary verb and the past participle. Into our new flat or apartment, nel nostro nuovo appartamento. Pretty straightforward. Okay, ready for the next?
Okay, so we'll stop Maurizio in his tracks there. So the club offers access not only to the one language, but to all 4 languages, French, Italian, German, and Spanish. And you get access to literally hundreds of videos. And the idea for the club came from the sort of fitness video classes that, I've got 10 minutes and I want to do some weights, or I've got 20 minutes and I want to do a cycle or a row or something like that. So our idea was that with the club, we would offer the idea that if you've got 10 minutes and you want to do some grammar, then we have grammar videos for you. Not all of the videos are in the studio, so we've got a whole set of videos that are filmed out and about in a country where the language is spoken. So here is an example of one of these.
Salve a tutti, bentornati a Coffee Break Italian. Today we're looking at another of these special verbs, and it's a reflexive verb. It combines with di and then another infinitive. The verb in question is sforzarsi di fare qualcosa. Literally, it means to force oneself to do something.
So as you can see, a huge range of content here on the Coffee Break Club, and we can filter it by language, we can filter it by level, we can filter it by the length of video too. So the club is available at the moment. Normally the cost of the club is $19.99 per month or $199.99 per year. At the moment it's $11.99 for the first month or $119.99 for your first year. So again, the 40% off, and it's off your first payment of the club. So if you are on the fence between buying level 3 and buying the club on Coffee Break TV, I would say, Jill, if you feel very comfortable with with everything that you've learned in level 2, and perhaps you've already done the magazines and the travel diaries, then the club will certainly give you more practice at that level. But if you feel ready for the next challenge, I would say perhaps go on to level 3. In the club, we do have content that will also match the level 3 materials as well. So it may be something that you would consider doing both, if that is an option. Okay. I'm going to run through the remaining questions that I have on the presentation, because I know that some of the questions that you're asking are covered within the presentation that I have here. And the first of these is, what is the Coffee Break membership all about? Well, again, what many of you have been asking is, are the courses that you buy one-off purchases, or do you subscribe to them? Do you get full lifetime access, or do you get do the time out, for example? Well, we've also introduced a new concept this year called our Coffee Break French, German, Spanish, Italian online membership, and there's even a Coffee Break Languages online membership. And this is where you get access to all of, well, not all of the courses, but most of the courses, most of the main courses for each language, with one payment of an annual membership. However, it's important to say that this is online only. So all of the courses that you've seen up until now, with the exception of the club, are courses where we have audio materials, video materials, text materials that you can download, you can print out the texts and so on. And you have them for life. So you can download them, keep them on your own computer or your tablet or whatever, and these are yours to use for personal purposes, obviously, but for as long as you need to. However, some people like to dip in and out of different courses. Some people like to do more than one course at a time, and that's why we introduced the online membership. And the online membership is a great way to save quite a bit of money. So the value of all of the courses included in the French membership, there are 13 different courses, all the way from level 1 right up to La Vérité éclate toujours for advanced members. The value is over $1,500. The normal annual cost will be $799, and again, there's 40% off that. So you would get that for $479 for French. The same for Spanish. We have 13 courses available as part of the French and Spanish membership. But there's also an Italian membership and a German membership, and there we have fewer courses in Italian and German, but there are 9 courses included, again from level 1 all the way up to level 3, with the memberships for the magazines, the travel diaries, the to-go series as well. So total value $800 plus, the annual cost $599, and we are offering that with 40% off for $359 for Italian and German. And if you're an aspiring polyglot and just want to collect all of the courses in a sense, so that would include French, German, Spanish, Italian, Swedish, Chinese, Gaelic and Portuguese, value of over $5,000. The annual cost normally would be $2,499, and that is down 40% at $1,499 for our online membership for all of the courses. And I think it's 48 courses that are included in that membership. Again, these are online only, so you can access the materials on the website with a web connection, with a Wi-Fi connect, with an internet connection. So linked to this, how long do I have to access the courses? So a kind of summary there. On the Academy, it's lifetime membership, so therefore you can access them online, you can access them offline, and you can download the contents. In our membership, it's an annual payment, therefore you can access it for the period of the year. And then if you want to continue on after that, obviously you can renew your membership. But that is online only, so no downloading, only accessing it online. And the club, which is a different product, the club is a monthly or an annual payment, and there you can access the materials online. And there's also the option to download temporarily the videos. For example, if you're going in a flight, you can download 10 videos to watch, and they stay on your phone or your tablet for a month, and you can access them, for as long as you need to with that. So I hope that summarises our different options there. When does the sale end? Well, the sale ends on Tuesday of this week at 11:59 p.m, so almost midnight. So you do have another couple of days to take advantage of this if you're interested in doing so. And a question we always get is, if I wait until the last day, is there a bigger discount? No, absolutely not. We are definitely not going to basically everyone who has bought since we launched the sale, we're not going to disadvantage them by introducing a bigger discount on the last day. 40% is the discount. That's the discount all the way through the sale. And I should say that this is the biggest discount that we have given this entire year. We do sometimes run promotions on certain courses, but we never offer 40%. The last time we did that was last Black Friday. So it definitely is the biggest opportunity to get ahead with your language learning in the course of the year. Another question we've had is, can I buy a course as a gift for someone? Unfortunately not, because there's not a system in place within the platform that we use for the Coffee Break Academy for this. But it is possible to buy a gift membership for the club, but unfortunately there's no way to use the discount code for that. So you can buy a gift membership for someone in the club, but not at the discounted fee. So apologies for that. That's just based on the limitation of the platforms that we're using for these. What payment methods are available? Well, you can buy with any credit card or a debit card. We also offer payments in Apple Pay and Google Pay. And if you're buying in US dollars, then you can also use PayPal. Now, just a word about dollars and pounds. Some of our courses, if we come back here, if I just go to the main website here. So some of our courses, if we buy, for example, level 1, and we click on the buy now button, it does display the price, $145 down to $87. But if we click on buy now, we're taken to the Coffee Break French sales page. And if we click on sign up, you can see here that you can choose between dollars and pounds. Now, and proceed to sign up based on whether you prefer doing that in dollars or pounds. However, it is important to say that some courses only have dollar versions, again based on the type of course and the platform we use for this. So most of the courses you will be able to pay in pounds, but some of them you will need to pay in dollars. But of course you can still pay in dollars from wherever you are. That will just be converted automatically in the system, and you'll be able to buy that. Okay. Yeah, that is all the questions I had prepared, but we do have other questions coming in. So let's take a look at these now. So Alejandra asked, are standard courses accessible perpetually once purchased? So hopefully we've answered that question now. George is saying, learning Spanish at the moment, would like to extend it to other languages. You're in the right place, George. I hope that this information I've been sharing has been useful. Shri is asking, can you give exam series for A1, A2 and B1? So we don't have exams as such. Sometimes there are quizzes in the courses, but we don't have exams. And that also answers Julia's question, is there an assessment? We do have informal assessments within the courses at certain points. They're just quizzes to check what you've learned, but they're not assessments in the sense of certification assessments. Zoe is asking, once purchased, do you have unlimited access to levels you have purchased, Also, I work outdoors for a living. Is it user-friendly on your phone? So definitely user-friendly on your phone. Very easy to access on your phone using the Academy. If you're thinking about the club, then the club is also extremely easy to access on the phone because we can use the Coffee Break TV app to access that. And many people use that in order to learn on the go. In terms of accessing unlimited access to levels that you've purchased, yes. So that stays with you. If you've purchased level 2, then you have access to that for as long as you need it. And you can also download it to your device if need be. Matt saying tes vidéos sur YouTube m'ont aidé à apprendre le français et ils m'aident encore. Très bien, merci beaucoup. Ferdoz is asking, is there a Coffee Break Russian? Not at the moment. We have French, German, Spanish, Italian, Swedish, Chinese, Scottish Gaelic, and Portuguese, and English for learners. And we're working on Coffee Break Japanese at the moment. So Matty is asking, est-ce que le Coffee Break Club a des vidéos pour ceux qui ont le niveau B2? Yes, there are indeed upper intermediate videos in the Coffee Break Club. So Julie's asking CBS nivel 3 or nivel 4. I'm not quite sure what that is in reference to, Julia. Please do give me more details if you want me to explain a little more. Amir is saying, in one of your audio lessons, you said there are many Spanish dialects in Spain, such as Catalan. Does this mean if we learn Spanish that we are taught there's a chance that we'll not understand people who speak those dialects? How should we act if we meet someone from those regions? Okay, so first of all, Catalan is not a dialect of Spanish. Catalan is a different language. It is a Romance language, so it's linked to Spanish the same way as French is linked to Spanish and Portuguese is linked to Spanish, but Catalan is very much a different language. If I say to you, my name is Mark, I say em dic Marc in Catalan, whereas it's me llamo Marc in Spanish. So a completely different language, Catalan. However, there are different dialects, there are different accents of Spanish, just as there are different accents and dialects of English. So I speak Scottish English, and I think you're understanding what I'm saying. I'd speak differently from someone who has perhaps grown up in Washington, D.C., or someone who has grown up in Cape Town. But my English is still understandable for English speakers around the world. So the Spanish that you're learning with Coffee Break Spanish will be understandable to anyone around the world who speaks Spanish. Now, the words that we learn, especially at the beginning in Coffee Break Spanish, sometimes we've decided to focus more on Spain Spanish in the first few lessons, just to avoid complications, to ensure that you don't feel, oh, I've got to learn 3 different words for the word for car, because there are different words for car in different countries. But very quickly, even in level 1, we introduce the different ways in which words are pronounced, different ways in which certain grammar things are used. For example, the word for you will change slightly depending on where you are and how formal you want to be. It's sometimes tú. Very informal in certain parts of the Spanish-speaking world. Usted will be a normal way of being formal in Spain, but ustedes, for example, will be the very normal way of being both formal and informal for plural in most of Latin America, but ustedes is only formal plural in Spain. So there are differences, just as there are in English. I talk about the pavement, but you might talk about the sidewalk. I talk about the rubbish bin, you might talk about the trash can. But there are these differences, and I think that's actually what makes a language alive. It's what makes it interesting, the fact there are differences. So, in answer to your question, Amir, it's, first of all, Catalan is different, but there are different accents in Spain. If you speak the Spanish that you've learned in Coffee Break, then you're going to be understood by everyone. You'll understand that there are different ways of speaking in different parts, and you can simply ask someone to perhaps speak more slowly, or could they repeat if you don't fully understand things. And it does take a little bit of time to attune your ear to a new accent. So hope that answers your question. So let's have a look at another question. Daphne's asking, what is the difference between A1 French Reading Club Season 1 and Season 2? You've actually corrected yourself, Daphne. Is the French Reading Club is more A2 into B1. But Season 1 and Season 2 are the same level. So there's, perhaps in Season 2, there's ever so slightly a little bit harder text, but they're more or less the same level. They're just more examples. There's more. There are more texts. It's more of the same content. So I hope that answers your question. Julia is asking, what is the difference between Spanish Club and Spanish Academy? So Coffee Breaks. The Coffee Break Academy is where all of our main courses are. And those are the courses like we've seen already. Let me jump back here. Come out of here and go here. So if we come back to that page and then click on Spanish. So these courses here, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, each of these are courses in the Coffee Break Academy with 40 lessons where you can work through each lesson and progress from lesson 1 on to lesson 2 and on to lesson 3 and so on. The Coffee Break Club for Spanish, so let's go into the Spanish videos on the Coffee Break Club. These are videos that are available for whatever skill you want to practice, whatever area of the language you want to practice at any one time. If you are a beginner, then definitely stick to the academy courses. If you're an intermediate learner and you've already done the academy courses, then you may well want to do club content to help you maintain your level, improve your level, and take your learning further. Each of these is a lesson, and in each of these, you're going to learn something. So you might learn about the Day of the Dead in this one. You might learn some new vocabulary as you guess the location of Annabelle's postcard. You might learn about the preterite tense in this video, which is a grammar video. Or you might do some translation practice in one of our translation challenges. So the club is self-access and you just do what you want when you want it. And once you've done it, it shows as, I don't know whether, yeah, so once you've done that particular video, it shows up as grey, so you know that you've done that one and you can tick another one off. And every time you do something, you're going to learn something. So I hope that explains the difference between the academy, where you go to take the courses, and the club, where you go to maintain your level and improve things on an ongoing basis. Lynn is asking, is there a recording of this, as I've just joined and seem to have missed the main parts? Yes, so Lynn, it will be available after the event for to watch the replay. I hope that helps. Chris is saying, just want to say thanks to you and your team for all the work everyone does to make us all smarter. Thank you. Fantastic. Kevin is saying, the link was in dollars. Do you have one in pounds, please? So I mentioned that a little earlier. Most of the courses you will be able to go to get the. I'm sorry. I've kind of lost my track here because I've been speaking constantly for 1 hour. You will be able to access a pounds link once you go through the checkout. However, some of the courses are only available in dollars. If it's only available in dollars, then that's the link that you will get, but you can still pay for it, and your card will be, the payment will be converted automatically by your bank. Okay, so trailer movies, is there any course that could help us in IELTS? Thank you. So our Coffee Break English courses should help you with your IELTS. We only have 2 courses available at the moment, but if you head over to coffeebreakenglish.com, you'll see what we have there. Zoe's saying, I'm interested in purchasing a few levels for French. Can I select the levels I want and purchase once, or do I have to buy individually? I used to listen to the Coffee Break podcast years ago, but definitely need to do the reading and writing alongside. Okay, fantastic. So, Zoe, we don't have a shopping cart as such. You would need to buy those courses individually. So each one is a new transaction, and you'll be able to buy each of those individually. I would say that if you are thinking about having a number of courses at once, then do consider the membership, because that gives you access to, in the case of French, 13 different courses for one payment, and although they are online only, and assuming, I know you said you work outdoors and you would want to do this on your phone, but you would be able to access these on your phone within the Coffee Break Academy as long as you've got internet access. So I hope that helps. Almost finished. Julie, I think I've explained things I'm pleased to know. Le Chat Noir is saying, is there a free trial? On some of our pages, you can sign up for a free trial, but the free trial would take you beyond, it's a timed free trial, so it would take you beyond Tuesday, which is the end of our Black Friday sale. And Le Chat Noir is also asking, how do you assess your level prior to purchasing a program? So I've spoken quite a bit about levels in this live broadcast, so I would suggest that you have a listen back through to that section, and hopefully that will help. Right, just before we finish, let's have a look to see if we have any new members that we can welcome before we finish off. I do hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that it's been useful to you. I'm also very aware that we have got some new people. Good. I am very aware that we will have more viewers of this after the event, so obviously you're very welcome. But welcome to Therese for Coffee Break Spanish Level 2, Amanda from Coffee Break Gaelic. I think we've possibly read some of these already, but Amanda, you're very welcome. Our new Coffee Break Gaelic learner, Joe, has enrolled in Il était une fois. I know these are definitely new. So AJ is a new member of Coffee Break Italian levels 1 to 3. Fantastic. Tova is a new Spanish level 3 learner. Fantastic. Tammy has joined us for levels 1 to 3 in Coffee Break Italian. That's brilliant. Really pleased to welcome you all here. We've got Sarah, who has become a new Coffee Break German magazine learner. So Sarah's going to be working on her cultural texts there for the Coffee Break German magazine. We've got Thomas, I always say Thomas because our German colleague is Thomas, but Thomas has enrolled in Coffee Break Spanish Level 1. So thank you to you all for becoming members of what we do, or buying one of our courses on the Coffee Break Academy. Fantastic. Okay, a couple of additional questions here. So Le Chat Noir has got lots of questions. How do you make contact with the administration of the programme or to ask questions regarding language problems? So in most of our courses, there will be a questions area where you can ask a question. The courses are self-access, so the kind of questions that you might be asking should be about the language, and you'll be able to get an answer there from the course tutors, but they're not supported courses in a sense. We do have the masterclass, which is very much a guided course, but that's not quite the same as our main courses. And Le Chat Noir is again saying, I can see people's questions, but I can't see the answers. So you're seeing the questions in the chat, presumably, of our video, but I've answered all of these questions in the video. So if you watch back the video, then hopefully you will be able to get all of your questions answered. And a quick one from Terry. What happens if you buy a course then realise it's too easy? Can you use your purchase to get the next level? Yeah, if you buy it and you decide, obviously, like pretty soon in the next few days, that the course is too easy, then we can of course swap that over. If you wait 6 months and tell us it's too easy, I'm afraid not. You'll need to act quickly. But I'm sure if you did buy something and you thought, no, this is too easy, what I would do is look at the end of the course, because if you buy particularly level 2, you might listen to lessons 1 and 2 of level 2 and think, wait a minute, I know this. But level 2 moves very quickly, in the sense of it's quite a steep curve after lessons 3 or 4 or so on. And I would definitely look to the end of the course, check the materials at the end. Normally lessons 31 to 40 will give you an indication of where you're going and where you're going to end up. So definitely check that and make sure that you can create that kind of language yourself before you decide that the level is too easy. We very much try with the beginning of the levels to guide you in gently and help you develop that by forming a very solid foundation. So I hope that answers your question, Terry, and it does seem to have. Deborah, I am so sorry. I noticed your question earlier, but then I got completely distracted. Will you be planning any Norwegian courses? So at the moment, it's not something that we have in development. But as I said earlier to another question about Turkish, I think never say never. As you possibly have heard, I am very interested in Norwegian myself. I'm actually heading to Norway in a couple of weeks. But we haven't got anything planned in Norwegian, but we may well do a Norwegian course at some point in the future. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you to the team also for joining us, especially on a Sunday. We really appreciate that. We hope that you have found this useful, that it's given you more information on which course to go for. Do remember that our Black Friday sale does end on Tuesday. So this means that you do have a limited time to take advantage of this. 2 days, 4 hours, 50 minutes, and about 23 seconds. And we hope that you do take advantage. If the code doesn't seem to work, all of the links that we've showed you here on these websites, they all have the link already active in it. If you were to come just from the Coffee Break Academy and try to buy a course, then you would have to enter the code yourself, and that's BF2023. But all you need is at that link there, coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF23. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you once again, and I will be back again soon with more Coffee Break. In the meantime, of course, thank you very much, and happy coffee breaking.